Yo, what up? It's Samaj back here in another video. Today we're about to be watching 10 WWE wrestling attires that were banned. I can only ever remember one wrestling attire that was like banned years ago. That was Seth Rollins all white gear. That shit was fire, bro. It was just too fire to a crisp. This nigga was literally like wrestling in some drip, nigga. Now that was drip. That was drip. I would call that. But like whatever he wears to the ring is just weird, bro. I've never been a fan of that one. But yeah, let's get into the video.
WWE wrestlers who were banned from wearing their own attire. Number 10, The Miz. When The Miz first debuted in WWE, he wore baggy shorts that weren't remotely flattering. The likely idea behind these shorts was that they would play up to The Miz's brashy and cocky personality, but fans could just never take him seriously in the look. Interestingly, the moment The Miz ditched the shorts in favor of traditional trunks, Vince McMahon suddenly
That shit low-key looked terrible. I hated The Miz actually wearing and wrestling in those.
decided that The Miz was going to receive a main event push, and it was almost as if the trunks were holding him back. The former WWE champion would discuss this directly during a 2016 interview allegedly with Theo Von and Matthew Cole Wise. When I got backstage, one of the talent relations guys goes, "Vince loves you in trunks. You're wearing trunks from now on." I was like, I don't want to wear trunks. I don't want to wear trunks. And it's like if Vince McMahon says you're going to wear trunks from now on, you're going to wear trunks from now on. So I started wearing trunks and I haven't gone back. Number 9, Daniel Bryan. One of the biggest matches on the 2012 Money in the Bank card saw Daniel Bryan take on CM Punk for the WWE title. Bryan would wear a khaki colored jacket for his entrance, and his attire would be a mix of colors of green, black, and red, all being present on him. Now, in typical Vince McMahon fashion, he took one look at Bryan's new attire and decided that he absolutely hated it. According to Bryan's autobiography, the former WWE chairman hated the attire so much that he got on the headset and told a member of the production to tell Bryan to take the jacket off immediately. You can actually see a member of the production team tell Bryan directly before the match to take the jacket off. Now, this type of behavior wasn't exactly rare from Vince McMahon, and it does raise the question of why he didn't say anything backstage. He just decided to wait until Bryan was actually in the ring to tell him to take it off. Number 8, The Shield.
I'm not gonna lie, that jacket is ugly as shit. I kind of agree with him on that one. I mean, but like if Bryan liked it, I mean, he could still go with it, but like I feel like it didn't like do anything to his like heel persona back then. I feel like it didn't do nothing to like take down, or the people agreed that he looked stupid or something. But I don't know, it's just a Vince McMahon thing, but I agree with it this time.
In 2014, WWE decided to have the Shield debut Bane-style masks. These looked incredible, and they gave the Shield an added edge when it came to their visual presence as a stable. Unfortunately, whilst the fans loved the new look, Vince McMahon wasn't exactly a big fan, and he decided to ban the celebrated trio from wearing the masks. A Shield member, Dean Ambrose, will reflect on this ban during an appearance on Talk Is Jericho. "Like the Shield mask that we wore for big shows, Vince hated it," said Moxley. "Even though we would have sold millions of it, we had these cool Sub-Zero ninja masks. We busted them out at WrestleMania and we looked cool, I'm not gonna lie." The next night, Vince was just furious. "We can't see our faces, get rid of the masks." The merchandise guys were like mortified. They were already coming up with designs and were like, "We're gonna sell billions of these," and Vince was like, "No, you can't see their faces." We did it on Australia again, and boy, they got pissed again. Vince just hated those masks. But this was an incredibly bizarre stance from Vince McMahon as the trio went.
Bro, those masks were badass, man. It absolutely represented the Shield when they came out and just like start whooping ass. Like, come on, Vince. Like, I can only agree with him on some things, but like this shit was stupid. Like, nigga, they were gonna take the mask off anyway and wrestle. Like, why the fuck would they wrestle with the mask on? But like, they coming out and they were the Hounds of Justice, my nigga, and they were like mercenary type of niggas. I felt like, and they used to come down from the crowd and come to the ring and whoop some ass. Like, I don't agree with that, man. You suck, nigga.
Wrestling in the masks, so it wasn't like the fans couldn't see their faces when the action commenced. Sometimes Vince just left money on the table, right?
Number
7, Karrion Kross. Now, upon making creative plans for Karrion Kross on the main roster, logic would dictate that the most sensible thing to do was present the same version of Kross that was overwhelmingly a success on NXT. Ultimately, Vince McMahon decided against this, as he decided to strip away every element of Kross's NXT persona and presentation, and this included his immediately. Kross would be forced to wear the worst attire in recent memory, as he would wear suspenders and even a hideous helmet to the ring. Naturally, this was all McMahon, and according to the former NXT champion during an interview on Conan's podcast, McMahon thought the infamous look was quote-unquote badass. This whole concept that people saw on the main roster
That goes back to the whole thing. Out of touch old man. Like, bro, he basically killed this nigga's career on arrival when he debuted on the damn main roster. Like, I wouldn't have thought an attire can kill a dude's career. But hell, he just started making him lose as soon as he got up to the main roster too. Like, he must have didn't like Kross.
With the Kross was rehired by Triple H, all of these dreadful elements were scrapped and Kross was permitted to return to his old attire. Number 6. Batista. One of the colors that Vince McMahon often took issue with was white. Notably, in 2005, McMahon didn't like the fact that Batista was wearing white trunks, and he even claimed that the WWE legend looked like he was wearing diapers. Now, white gear can be hit or miss, but Batista always executed the gear extremely well, and he definitely didn't look like he was wearing any type of diaper. When Chris Jericho embarked on a heel turn in 2008, he decided to overhaul everything that connected him with the audience in a positive way, and this included his iconic ring attire. Jericho would debut trunks, and Jericho looked vastly different. It took a while for fans to accept Jericho in a new look. Vince McMahon was a major fan of the new look, especially because it showed off Jericho's legs for the first time in his WWE run. It was therefore likely McMahon's call that Jericho's new look stay for the long term, and this would have been why Jericho never reverted back during the rest of his WWE run. Number 4. Jerry the King Lawler. Now, it's not just active wrestlers who can be banned from wearing certain items of clothing, as in 2014, Vince McMahon was appalled by Jerry Lawler's decision to wear a gold Elvis-style t-shirt to the commentary table. Now, in all fairness to Vince McMahon, the t-shirt wasn't exactly flattering on the eyes, and the t-shirt would never be seen again, as McMahon no doubt told Lawler to never wear it on TV again. Number 3. Seth Rollins. Now, fans went crazy for Seth Rollins' white gear at the 2015 SummerSlam pay-per-view, but unfortunately, Vince McMahon hated it so much that he insisted that Rollins should never wear it again. This was revealed directly by Seth Rollins during a fan signing, and he was highly critical of McMahon's call. No, Vince wouldn't let me wear it, because he's a weird old man who doesn't understand that people think it's the coolest gear they've ever seen. Yeah, he doesn't get it. I get that question more than anything else. What does that mean? It's just huge, man. People love it. I think it's in the archive. I gave it to our archivist guy. He puts it up at all the accesses and stuff. This was just another case of McMahon letting his personal preference get in the way of what fans actually wanted, and it's a shame that this 2015 gear was one of Rollins' defining looks. Number 2.
Nigga, that shit was crazy. 10 years ago, that shit happened. Oh my god, the years are passing by, bro. Like, that's just so weird that Vince McMahon didn't like that look. Especially if fans were like literally clamoring online. I know somebody had to show him that, like, nigga, look, bro, they like it. They like the whole thing. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean everybody else doesn't like it. I feel like he just never put his feelings forward, or never put his feelings, but he always put his feelings before everybody else, just to like what he want to like. It's just such a Vince thing to do.
Kane. Now, before Kane was wrestling regularly on TV and pay-per-views, he would have trial runs with a character on live events. This was WWE's way of seeing what worked and, more importantly, what didn't with the character. One of the more unique elements that Kane had during the live event run was a cape. Kane looked like a comic book villain, and it didn't suit the demonic character that WWE were going for,
looks pretty stupid.
Especially with them ushering in the Attitude Era. Kane's cape was scrapped by the time he had made his entrances on TV, and this was no doubt Vince McMahon's executive call to scrap the cape and make sure nothing similar was present on the Big Red Machine's entrance look. And number 1, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns decided to make a significant change to his attire in the 2017 Fastlane pay-per-view. For his match against Braun Strowman, he would debut a white trim on his vest, as well as debut black sneakers with white soles. A fan response to the look was mixed, however this didn't matter as it would be the first and only time that Reigns would use the look. Naturally, Reigns would confirm during an interview with the Not Sam podcast that Vince McMahon heavily disliked the change in appearance. I pretty
Yeah, it
much
looks kind of
matched up my
weird.
soles because I'll wear different colors with the black. I had the white on the vest and gloves and stuff, and they had a white trim on it. It matched up with the white soles, and I thought it looked sweet. But one person didn't, and he's a very important person, so... Now, the idea of Reigns wearing a different color for each major matchup was indeed an exciting concept, but McMahon was evidently of the belief that the babyface version of Reigns should just stick to the standard black color scheme and never deviate. Thankfully for Reigns under the leadership of Triple H, the game has been more lenient when it comes to his in-ring look and presentation. Reigns has experimented with different colors over the past few years and even debuted new sneakers in his in-ring attire for his match with Solo Sikoa on the Raw on Netflix premiere. But there you have it, folks. 10.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sort of in the middle. I agreed and disagreed with some of these little wrestling attire like that were banned. Some were like some like Seth Rollins, some like I forgot another ones, but like all the other ones are pretty good, but like some of them are really stupid. And I agree with Vince McMahon of why he like took that away. Especially Kane with the fucking cape is never good. That shit looked like a damn super villain. Kane was supposed to come off menacing, not like super villainous. But hey, if you guys like that video and you want to see more WWE videos, make sure you like and subscribe. And we on the road to 100, and I'm out.